Welcome to a video lesson that will kick off Chapter 1. Chapter 1 starts off with our first lesson being all about greatest common factor and least common multiple. So here we go. Let's start by filling out our table of contents. You're going to get a lot of notes over this video and the next. This is just part 1, and we're going to spend at least a couple days dealing with this topic. So for your convenience, just in your table of contents, have the page range of 16 through 22. There's going to be 4 pages of notes today, and then another 3 tomorrow. And we're just going to label it GCF and LCM. The first page we're going to pick up is that blue page. So grab that one, okay? And we're going to fill this one out first. This will be page 16. So greatest common factor, least common multiple. Shortcut, GCF, LCM, just like you wrote in your table of contents. So fill that in. The first thing we want to clarify is just the difference between factor and multiple. I know we've talked about factors before, 2 numbers that are multiplied together. But you need to distinguish between factors and then know what multiples are as well. So a multiple are counts of a number, or a count of a number. So like 2, 4, 6, 8, who do we appreciate? Mrs. Trumble, you know it. And 5, 10, 15, 20, those kinds of number patterns is what we're talking about when we're talking about multiples. And really, it's just the product or those answers of 2 factors multiplied together. What's 5 times 1? 5. What's 5 times 2? 10. And we can do a whole chant, but we won't. We're just going to do really quick 2 examples of factors and multiples. Factors of 12. 12 times 1. 2 times 6. And 3 times 4. You could also do the turnaround fact of all of those, but we don't need them. Just those 3 is fine. Multiples of 12. We have 12. And in our brain, we're thinking 12 times 1. I'm going to write that over here kind of small. That's what we're thinking. Okay? And then the next one up, we're going to be thinking, what's 12 times 2? And it's 24. So multiples are 12, 24. And then the next one would be 12 times 3, which is 36. And we could go on and on and on and on forever, but we won't. So we're done with the first page really quick. So that I want you to cut out. That's the first thing you're going to glue into your notebook. Okay, so glue first. Now we're going to pick up the goldenrod page, or the yellowish one. Okay, this page, the yellow one, is going to talk about the old way to find GCF and LCM, and it's a perfectly good way. I'm going to show you a different way as well. It's the orange, reddish, orangish papers that you have. The old way is really good when the numbers are smaller. You learned that last year or the year before, and I'm going to just refresh your memory for the next couple seconds. So to find the GCF the old way, you're going to list all your factors out. I like to call it a factor rainbow. And then you're going to circle the common factors. And then the greatest, or the largest, whichever floats your boat, the largest number that's the same, that's the greatest common factor. So let's do a quick example here. We're going to list the factors of 27. I'm just going to do a little colon here and then just going to list them in a factor rainbow. So I'm going to start in order. 1 times 27. 2 does not work because it's an odd number. 3 does. 3 times 9. And there's nothing else in the middle, so we're done. I'm going to do the same thing for 18. So 1 times 18. I'm going to go in order. After 1, I can do 2 times 9, and then 3 and 6, and I'm done. Now, I'm going to change colors here. We're going to circle what's the same. So the 1s are the same, the 3s are the same, and the 9s are the same. Since 9 is the largest number, right over here, The GCF is 9. There you go. Now we're going to do LCM the old way. We are going to list out multiples of both numbers until you see a common number, then you can stop. The good thing about least common multiple is that the smallest or the lowest number is your answer. And let's do the 18 and 27 multiples. So, multiples of 27. I'm going to do this going down so that I can do that think bubble. So I'm thinking in my head, what's 1 times 27? 27. Then I'm going to think, what's 2 times 27? And write that down. So we got 54. And then we're going to think about 3 times 27. Think about that. Figure that one out. And that would be 81. So I'm going to stop here and see if I can do 3 multiples of 18 and get a match. So over here, I'm going to do, in my head, I'm going to think, here's my think bubble. Here, let's make it official. There you go. Think cloud and think cloud. So in my think cloud, I'm thinking in my head, what is 1 times 18? And then I'm writing down the multiple, 18. Then what's 2 times 18? Okay, 36. Now 3 times 18. Aha, I have a match. That 54 shows up in both lists. I have found my LCM. LCM 54. Bam, we're done. That's the old way. So we're done with the yellow. That was page 17. Now we have 2 pages left. They are this salmon, whatever we call this color, or I'd say it's kind of red-orange. So those last 2 pages are all about a newer way in 6th grade that we can use a Venn diagram to find GCF and LCM. The reason I'm showing you this is because sometimes you're going to have larger numbers and it would be problematic to find the multiples of those larger numbers and find all of the factors of those larger numbers. And in part 2, we're going to throw in an extra number, but we'll take it one step at a time. So I have it broken up step by step, just so that you can follow along. I'm going right down your note sheet. Using a Venn diagram, step 1 is we are going to remember from 5th grade prime factorization. And we're going to find the prime factors of the numbers we're being asked to find the GCF or LCM or both of. So that means we have to draw little stems since it's a tree. So what 2 factors, any 2 factors, will be multiplied together to get 27? I'm going to do 3 and 9. Now, as you've noticed, I was using a dot to show multiplication. That is another symbol that will be meaning multiplication. You got your X, you got your little asterisk, you have your dot. Those are 3 ways to show that you're multiplying. So I'm going to be using dots just because it's a little quicker. Now, I'm thinking, do I have any prime numbers at this level, this row? I do. I'm going to circle it, and I'm going to drag it down to the next level because I need 2 more branches because 3 times 3 is also 9, and 3 is a prime number. So I'm done here. I'm going to come over here, draw 2 more branches. I want 2 factors of 18. Are any of them prime on this level? Yes, they are. I'm going to circle and drag it down. 9, we already did that, so we have 3 and a 3, which are both prime. That is a really quick review of prime factorization. So I have this last row is all in circles, which are all prime numbers. And that is step 1. Okay, step 2. We are going to write out the prime factors horizontally. Why on God's green earth am I asking you to do this? Well, it helps to stay organized, and we need to make sure they're organized from smallest to largest. It's simple with this example, but as we practice more, it's going to get complicated. There might be like 5 2s and 4 3s, and it could get ugly. But if we're organized, we'll be okay. So we're going to start with 27. That organization is really simple. It's just 3 times 3 times 3. Nothing to put in order. The 18 prime factors, now remember, we're going above and we're looking at that final row where they're all circled. Happen to be that in my example, I did them in order, but they might not be. You want to put the 2 first and then the 2 3s. Step 3, we're going to circle, similar to the old way, what's the same. So I notice I have 2 3s that are the same in both lists. I circled one pair and I circled the other pair. Now, we want to make sure we've only circled 2 times. That's important. Step 4, we're going to draw a Venn diagram. For this, it's already for us in our notes, but we might have to draw a Venn diagram as well. After we have one drawn, we're going to place the numbers that are the same in the middle of the Venn diagram, but only once. Now, this is the most important part. Remember how you circled a pair of 3s? That was one circle. And then you circled another pair of 3s. That was another circle. You should only have 1 3 of each circle in the Venn diagram. And then the last one is we're going to be labeling, and then we're putting numbers in our Venn diagram. I'm going to switch it to the Venn diagram and show you what I mean. So fill in label, and then I'll walk you through it with the Venn diagram. All right, I've squeezed in what you have in your notes already. This is the horizontal row of prime factors, and we circled what's the same. Just to reference it, because I had to switch my board, one of these 3s is going to go in the center, and one of the 3s from the second circle goes in the center. So basically, however many circles you have is how many numbers you should have. You're not going to put 4 3s in the center. That's the common mistake. So I'm trying to be clear about that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label each side, because this whole circle represents 27, and this whole circle represents 18. The things that are in common are in the middle because of the overlap. You've seen a Venn diagram before, hopefully. Now we're going to look at what are the numbers that we didn't circle. We have 1 3 and 1 2. So the 3 has to go on the 27 side, and the 2 has to go over on the 18 side. And we're done filling in our Venn diagram. Only thing left is to find the GCF and the LCM. And the directions are right here. To find the GCF ends with the letter F. Now I want you to think of a football. What does a football start with? Yes, the letter F. Good. Yay. Now I want you to, with a color or a pencil, highlight the shape of this center. And it should resemble, that's right, a football. So, greatest common factor, think football, and your eyes should go to the center of your Venn diagram, because you just have to multiply whatever's in there together and you have your GCF. So, GCF, 3 times 3. So, just like when we found it with the old way, here's the Venn diagram way, we get the same answer, 9. Now, for LCM, LC, last letter is M, we're going to think multiply, which conveniently also starts with an M. Don't you love when that works out? So we're going to have LCM, we're going to multiply every number that's inside the Venn diagram, and then you'll have your answer. So, LCM, we're going to take the 3 that's on the outside, the two 3's that are on the inside and the 2, and we're going to multiply those together. Now there's a variety of ways you can do that. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. Multiply those together. Or any other combination, you should get the same thing we got before using the old way is 54. Now I don't have any other examples for you to try. We are going to practice this all day tomorrow, and then look forward to part 2. So to be continued. Goodbye.